My name is Hamid. I'm from Afghanistan. I'm 20 years old. I have been here in Switzerland for the last approximately 7 months or something like that. And I have Ausweis N. I was an English teacher back home in a university called Khorasan University. I have a small family back home, a brother, a mother, and of course a father. I am not yet allowed to work actually. And this is what really makes me worried because I can't help my family back home. My mom is sick. There is no one to help her. I don't come from a large family. I don't have lots of people there to help my mom. There are lots of people staying in camps for 2 years, for 1.5 years, and they are not allowed to do anything. They are not even offered German schools, German classes. So it's really horrible. After 2 years, you get your response from the government, and then you are allowed to learn German, to learn the language. And from there, you just waste 2 years of your life. I mean, the system of the refugees here in Switzerland, the system really makes the refugees suffer too. They make every single refugee wait for too long. I am also in the waiting period. I'm waiting to be receiving a response from the government. And it really makes me worried. I have Ausweis N. I'm trying to learn the culture. I'm trying to learn the language. I'm trying to learn the Swiss life. And I don't know about the answer. What will the government tell me?
Seit dem März von diesem Jahr haben wir hier den Creative Meeting Point im Atelier Farbwiese. Das soll eine Art Begegnungsort sein für Bewohner aus dem Durchgangszentrum im Lindenfeld und Anwohner und Anwohnerinnen aus der Region. Es geht einerseits um Gestaltung, also wir hier zusammen malen, zeichnen, drucken, fotografieren oder wir haben ja schon zusammen gekocht, das ist ganz unterschiedlich. Manchmal kommen auch Ideen von ihrer Seite, die wir gerne aufnehmen.
Ja, in dieser Zeit, jetzt, wo wir das Projekt machen, haben wir erlebt, dass die Leute vertraut werden, dass sie sich mehr trauen zu schwätzen, auch besser können schwätzen. Also sicher haben sie noch andere Orte, wo sie herausgefordert sind oder wo sie gefördert werden im Deutsch. Aber hier, das ist sicher auch ein Ort.
Und wir probieren auch so ein bisschen halt mit Wortkärtchen zu arbeiten oder so, dass wir einen spielерischen Einstieg machen mit ein paar Wörtchen. Also das ist ganz niederschwellig, aber dass es so ein bisschen um Deutschkenntnis geht, die sie erweitern können. Sie haben nicht viele Deutschkurse, die sie besuchen können. Und dann ist das natürlich eine weitere Möglichkeit.
I have been here for 2 years ago, and I have B housewives. I have zucchini here. This side is zucchini, and here is spinach over here. On the other side was here some of cucumber. There is cucumber and there is broccoli. The fountain is from the mountain that comes because I saw reality. So I admire it. Wow, that is on earth there is a heaven. When I say like that, at the first time when I saw everything, the green places of the Switzerland.
Ich habe das schon provisorisch gemessen. Ja. Kannst du noch einmal kontrollieren, ob hier,
ja,
weißt du, von diese 81 cm ist?
Also ganz von
hier,
ja,
bis hier 81 cm, bis hier. Dann machen wir hier ein Zeichen.
Mhm.
Ja, perfetto.
Okay.
Also Desinfektion, weißt du, brennt vielleicht ein wenig. Hä?
Ja.
Ist gut?
Ja.
Oh ja.
Ist gut.
Jetzt
Gut.
schauen wir. Ist gut so?
Ja, lebt.
Ist gut?
Genau. I focused in first of all to learn the language, because without language cannot be integrated or cannot be in other jobs or to participate in everything.
I was in Tehran for a week. It was because the agents or the people who take refugees from one place to the other or from one country to the other, they need to make a group first. From there, we had to move to Urumia. It's another province of Iran bordering with Turkey. We had to go there. We had to travel for 12 hours from there. We got off from the car near a mountain. When we walked in the mountain for approximately 2 hours, there was a house in the mountain. There were some 2-3 houses, something like that. There was a house. We were taken there. And they told us to rest here. After 2 o'clock at night or something around, you have to start your journey again. And then the cars came at night. They took us out from the house. And in a small Corolla car, they placed 20 people. We traveled approximately for 1 hour, and we were just taken to a mountain, and the mountain was full of snow actually. It was completely full of snow. The car in which we were traveling, the same car was followed by some police too. We didn't know it actually, but the person who was driving, he would tell us that he was driving too fast. Too fast. If we had an accident, no one would be alive actually. Everyone would have been killed.
But I found some person to guide me, because I don't know the places of that borders. So when I get this person to pay about 1,000 something like that, $1,500, we went with the bus up to somehow the border, and he gives me some advice, and we start to went with a foot. After that, we crossed the border of Sudan. That is a little bit terrible with a night. Even we don't have enough water. And then up to the capital city or the small towns of Libya, it took 4 days. Within these 4 days, we don't have enough money, even enough water, also enough food.
He told us that you have to run the fastest you can actually, the fastest possible. It was because, when the police were there, so they would shoot from the bottom, and so we would definitely die. Even there were children, they wouldn't make, the person who was leading on throughout the way, he wouldn't let anyone make a pause or something like that, no rest, nothing, so you just have to keep walking. So while walking on the way, there were different groups, as I told you. In our group, there were 2 young people shot, just here, one was shot here, I saw him, in the other I didn't see him where he was shot. But when they were shot, the person who was leading us, he had told us from the beginning that our group, the name of our group is Shamsher. It's Shamsher, and when I say Shamsher, so you have to follow me. When I run, you have to run too. Whatever I do, you have to do that too. So when 2 people were shot, he just laid down, and we laid down too. So, and after some time, he stood up, and we put the bags. We saw the people they were also laying there, the 2 people who were shot there. So he just told us, some were, some of the members of our group, some of them were crying, some of them were shouting, and there were different voices mad. But the person who was leading, the leader, he told us to forget about all and just run. So we started running again. We ran for an hour or something like that. And later on, he told us that now we can walk. So then we started to walk again. Yeah, let's see how I live and how my room is. I want to show you my room. Here I live. I have a small bed, and I have a small side table, and I have a carpet here, and I should have a carpet here. It's because the floor, it's really old. It doesn't look nice if I don't have any carpet. I have a small table here for me, and a guest can be anyone. Can be Bashir, he's usually here with me. He's my friend. He lives in the camp here in Lindelfeld. He stays with me, and today he's cooking for us actually. And it's a small room. This is the traditional dance of Afghanistan. So there came, some cars, and they took us to a large room actually. It was a large room with lots of people inside, and not enough light. It didn't have any window. Once a day they would feed you. They would give you food only once a day. So and they would sell food there too. They would sell food there, but very, very, with a very high price. But we didn't know what the situation in the room is actually. We thought tomorrow we are gonna continue traveling, but we had to stay there. We had to pay them money. It was something like, like robbers. They keep you they keep you there till you pay them. So there were lots of children and lots of people. They were there for months, for months. But you have to cook, or they will take you to somewhere. You have to work there or something like that without any payment. So you are not allowed to leave the place till you pay them.
From one city to another city, even we are hidden, because at that moment the Libyans, even they fight each other, even they stole each other, even they sold for person to person, and then they ask you money. But the guidance they make for us again to hide with Lastwagen and stay there up to 3 weeks. When we are stayed in Libya for 3 weeks, only the guidance, they do not give us enough food, because only one times per day they give us without any only pasta, macaroni. They give us only with oil and salt, and they give us even it's not enough for us, even without taking shower. They do not allow to wash only once. After that, they don't give us, or they don't allow for us. And then after 3 weeks, they told for us there is a big ship, and they prepared. We must go to that ship. That ship was really, it is not a big ship, almost that a middle, not enough. Even it's not for persons, just like for the boat. It's not ship, it is boat.
We got onto the bus, and there were, I can say, more than 1,000 people on the bus. Too many people, I can say, lots of people. I had never seen a bus, with such large number of people. We got on the bus, and all the people there in the bus, they were standing. In seat, there were some seats too, but in each seat there were three or two people sitting. And he started to talk to me, and he said that if he could sit, if there were any possibilities of sitting, but no possibility, we couldn't even sit. So we were just standing still like this. We couldn't even take out our hand from there. And we traveled for 24 hours like this. He was shut here on the thigh. So at the end, after 6 hours, he told me that he really needed to sit down. So he was standing on a single foot for the whole 24 hours. It was really, really terrible. I really didn't want to go, I really didn't want to travel on the boat we made. Because I didn't believe, I didn't believe the boat, that it will be able to make us or help us cross the blue sea, because we couldn't see the other end. But when I noticed the waves there in the sea, so I was completely sure that no swimmer of the world could swim there, and I'm still sure. And we thought, everyone was praying. I really heard different people, different religions praying in different words, different gods. So there were 50 people. They all came. We didn't know the language of any other. I had only one person who could speak my language, and the other people I couldn't understand what they were saying, what they were talking about. But the children were in the middle, the children and the women, and all the men were just standing around and leaning on the sides of the boat. We traveled, and all of them, they when the boat would move, a little bit more, so then they would, the women would cry, they would shout, they would yell, the children too. And many people, they were seasick actually. They would vomit too, so it was really horrible.
Because they obliged for us. When you are, say, I don't go with the ship, they don't care about us. So we must to go with them. So after 3 weeks, when we start the boat, when in the boat, the people do not agree each other, because some of them, they want to smoke, some of them they don't want, because the boat was manufactured with wood. It's not steel, so it is terrible. Even it is when they make fire, there is benzene, so it is difficult. It's dangerous when they are without help, without any life jacket. That is very, very risk things. But the people who are more with the children and women, so it is difficult for 4 days. Some of them, they are vomiting in that place. There is no toilet, there is no something like that. And after that, in the Mediterranean Sea with this boat, up to 4 days.
So how long did the journey take all in all, altogether?
Altogether, it's almost 1 month and 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Yeah.
And everyone on the boat, whether children, women, or men, all of them were crying, including me. And no one had a hope. No one. Everyone there on the boat was completely hopeless. We thought, it's all over, and praying. And when we were on the safe side, when we were on the shower, when I got out there, all the people on the boat with us, all of them, men, women, children, all of them came and hugged me, and we all cried. Even though we were on the safe side, we were on the shower, we got out of the water, but still, all of them came, they hugged me, and we all cried, for 2 hours there. For 2 hours, we were just sitting there. Then it was night. We were just sitting there, and we really cried. The whole day we cried.
So I met this decent man. He is from Afghanistan. I wondered if he could tell me his story, because he's a refugee. So I asked him why he had left. It took me a while to understand that this question, simple as it seemed, was a very complex matter. Many times he had faced it, each time afraid might be his last breath. Next to him, he had seen people die. I tried hard not to cry, deeply touched by his infinite hopelessness. He told me about people like him who don't have anything. They are in a terrible fight in this game.